Hello everyone, in this video you will be learning the characteristic feature of kingdom fungi. Let us see what are the content we are going to deal with. First, we will see the discovery of fungi, followed by the structure and the mycelial forms of fungi. At last, we will see the mode of nutrition in fungi. Now, let's learn the discovery of fungi. The kingdom fungi encompasses a wide variety of living organisms. Scientists estimated that there were hundreds of thousands of fungal species on Earth. At one time, it was thought that the fungi were simply primitive version of plant. However, further discoveries led to the realization that the fungi were different enough to belong to their very own kingdom. Fungi makes up a critical part of ecosystem around the world and deserve just as much attention. Let's take a look at some of the common characteristics of these organisms. Before that, let us share some finding data back to prehistoric times. Clausius in the year 1601 may be regarded as one of the earliest writers to describe fungi. Boyen in the year 1623 also included the account of non-fungal forms in his book Pinax Theatri Botanica. At last, the systematic account of fungi came from Pierre Antoine Macaulay in the year 1729, who wrote Nova Plantarum Genera, and he described by some workers as a founder of mycology. E. M. Fries in the year 1794 to 1878 wrote a book called Systema Mycologicum in 3 volumes. He is known as father of systemic mycology. H. A. D. Berry is the father of modern mycology and plant pathology. E. J. Butler is the father of Indian mycology and plant pathology. Let us see the general characteristic feature of fungi. Fungi are the eukaryotic organisms belonging to the fungi kingdom and one of the 5 major classifications of life on this planet. Some of the most commonly recognized type of fungi includes mushroom, yeast and mold. Some fungi are edible and readily accessible, while others are poisonous, microscopic or extremely rare. They are estimated to have 3 to 4 million species of fungi, but less than 1,50,000 has been classified and studied. Mycology is the branch of study of fungi. Mycologists are the biologists who study fungi. Up until the mid-20th century, many scientists classified fungi as plants. Fungi, like plants, arose mostly sessile and seemingly rooted in place. They possess a stem-like structure similar to plants, as well as having a root-like fungal mycelium in the soil. In addition, the fungal mode of nutrition was poorly developed and understood. The plant body of a true fungi is a thallus. It may be non-mycelial form or mycelial form. The non-mycelial form are unicellular. However, they may form a pseudomycelium by budding. In mycelial form, the plant body is made up of a thread-like structure called hyphae. Singular form is called hypha. The mass of hypha is a mycelium. It can grow on the surface, in soil, or in a decay material, or in liquid, or even on the living tissue to absorb food. The mycelium may be aseptate, that means they don't have cross wall, or the mycelium may be septate, that means they have cross wall. When non-septated and multinucleated, the mycelium is described as cenocytic. In lower fungi, the mycelium is non-septate. Example, Phycomycete. In higher forms, it is septate. Example, Ascomycotina, Basidiomycotina and Deuteromycotina. In some form, the plant body is unicelled at one stage and myceliate at another stage. Their organization is sometimes described as dimorphic condition. When the entire mycelium is converted into reproductive structure, the thallus is described as holocarpic. In higher forms, the mycelium get organized into loosely or compactly woven structure which looks like a tissue called plectenchyma. Plectenchyma is of two types. One is prosenchyma and other one is pseudoparenchyma. Prosenchyma comprises loosely woven hyphae lying almost parallel to each other. In pseudoparenchyma, the hyphae are closely interwoven, looking like a parenchyma in cross section. In addition to the above mentioned mycelial forms, the fungal mycelia may form some specialized structures like rhizomorph, sclerotia and stroma. Rhizomorph is a root-like or string-like elongated structures of closely packed and interwoven hyphae. The rhizomorphs may have a compact growing points. In case of sclerotia, the hyphae get interwoven forming pseudoparenchyma with external hyphae becoming thickened to save the inner ones from desiccation. They persist for several years. At last, the stroma is a thick matrix of compact hyphae associated with the fruiting bodies. Cell wall of fungi is made up of chitin and cellulose. While chitin is a polymer of N-acetyl glucosamine and the cellulose is a polymer of D-glucose. Precisely, the cell wall may be made up of cellulose glucan in case of oomycetes. In zygomycetes, the cell wall is made up of chitin chitosan. In case of Ascomycotina, the cell wall is composed of mannan and glucan. In case of Basidiomycotina, the cell wall is made up of chitin mannan. In some form of Ascomycotina, Basidiomycotina, Deuteromycotina, the cell wall is made up of chitin glucan. Besides, the cell wall may be made up of cellulose glycan, cellulose chitin in some cases of fungi. Like all living things, fungi store energy for certain metabolic processes and their main storage molecule is glycogen. This is same as animals. Although plants store their energy in a different molecule, that is in the form of starch. Fungi help to recycle the nutrients of dead organic matter, making those nutrients available to the soil so that new life can flourish and grow. Without fungi, the nutrient cycle would not function and the life would be unable to thrive. Let us now see the mode of nutrition in fungi. The fungi are achlorophyllous organism and hence they cannot prepare their own food. They live as heterotrophs, that means they are parasitic and saprophytic. Some form live as symbiotically with other green forms. Now let's see the parasitic mode of nutrition in fungi. This type of fungi obtain their food from living host. A parasite may be obligate or facultative. The obligate parasite thrive on a living host throughout the life. The facultative parasites are in fact saprophytic, which has secondarily becoming parasitic in nature. While the above classification is based on the mode of nutrition, however, on the basis of the place of occurrence on the host, the parasite may be classified as ectoparasite, endoparasite and hemiendoparasite. Saprophytic fungi derive their food from dead and decayed organic matter. The saprophytes may be obligate or facultative. An obligate saprophyte remains saprophytic throughout its lifetime. On the other hand, facultative saprophyte is in fact a parasite which has secondarily become saprophytic in nature. Some fungal forms grow in symbiotic association with green or blue-green algae and constitutes the lichen. Here, the algal component is photosynthetic and the fungal is reproductive. A few fungal forms grow in association with roots of higher plants. This association is called mycorrhiza. They are of two types. One is ectotrophic mycorrhiza and the other one is endotrophic mycorrhiza. Example, worm fungi. So far, we have seen the characteristic feature of fungi. Next class, we will see the classification of fungi. Thank you.
Want to know more about these topics? Please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe our channel.